Welcome to the art project. We're going to create some stuffed paper fish. You're going to need some paper that I'm going to begin by folding in half. You're also going to need glue stick and scissors and markers and some magazines or colorful paper, not to mention some newspapers to stuff it with. I'm going to draw the fish body real simple. I'm going to do a sideways V and then a curve at the top and a curve at the bottom. Nice and simple. Then I'm going to cut this out. When I cut this out, I've got two sheets of paper together because I folded it in half, right? And I'm cutting both the top half and the bottom half, the top layer of paper and the bottom layer of paper at the same time. They should come out exactly the same, but they may not be perfect, and that's okay. Then I'm going to staple them together, but at the beginning only at the mouth. This will keep them lined up until I can get some of the drawing on them. Using a Sharpie, I'm going to draw some scales on them. The scales can be any kind of decoration you want. These are obviously not real fish, obviously not anatomically correct or anything like that. So just be decorative. If you want to do polka dotted fish or you want to do something else, that's fine. I did practice in my sketchbook a little bit before I just jumped right in and started drawing scales. I added these little swish marks to the scales. It doesn't have to be swish marks. You could do another half circle filled in or anything else that you want to decorate the scales. Remember, fish are two-sided and these are going to be hanging up, so you're going to be able to see both sides. So make sure you make both sides equally beautiful. So I stapled about halfway around the fish on both edges and just kind of left the tail open so that I could stuff it with newspapers. At first, you need to make sure that you get stuffing into the lips. Don't neglect getting stuffing down around the mouth. That stuffing might have to be a little bit tighter to get in there. And then the rest of the stuffing is just going to be loosely wadded newspaper. And then you're going to staple it some more around the edges. Staple it all the way up so none of that stuffing falls out. Then I'm going to use magazine pages or other colorful papers. You could use construction paper or scrapbooking paper to make this part, but I'm just using colorful paper. I cut out some blue to be the eyes, and then I traced the first eye to make the second eye the same size. And then I traced the first eye just to get the right size for the pupil. And then I cut out two of those from some black magazine paper. Glued those down. Also cut out some white for highlights and glued that down. Glue the eyes on both sides of the fish. Then I got a magazine page and laid it next to the fish so I could draw a fin for the top that was the right size. I got two pieces of paper to put together and I cut them out at the same time so they would both be exactly the same. One is the front of the fin and the other is the back of the fin. I'm going to glue them together so that they will be nice and stiff and just look like two different sides of the same paper. I'll leave a little space at the bottom so that I can glue that part on either side of the fish later. Now I'm putting glue on that part that I left unglued, and I'm going to use that to sandwich on either side of the top of the fish, and then I'm going to staple it. The glue will hold just fine, but the staple helps hold the fin in place while the glue dries. I'm going to make another fin on the bottom of the fish exactly the way I made the fin on the top of the fish. Cut out two pieces of paper, and I'm going to glue them together as well. Again, leaving a little space at the bottom at first that I can glue to the top of the fish. Again, I'm using glue on here and kind of sandwiching the paper on both the top and the bottom of the fish, or on the side, both sides of the fish. And then I'm stapling it to hold all the glue dries. You're going to do the same for the tail. I'm cutting out 2 pages of magazine at the same time in order to get 2 pieces the same shape. Gluing them together. And then adding them to the fish on both sides. Staple it for strength. Now I'm making some pectoral fins. And I'm going to add a string at the top. In this particular video, you don't see the string. I'm just adding the tape and the hole to put the string through. The tape is for reinforcement. Helps to strengthen the paper at the top and keep the string from tearing through. I'm using a hole punch to punch a hole for the string right through the tape and the paper. And that is the finished fish. If everybody makes 2 of these, then you will have tons of fish to hang in the hallway. Be sure to clean up your mess. Get a step ladder to hang it in the hallway. I use little clamps, little paper clamps on my string, at the end of my string, to clamp it to the little metal bar. And it filled the hallway really, really well. It changed the way the hallway looked. It changed the way the light came through. It was just really, really wonderful. And it was sort of a Yayoi Kusama installation. Instead of pumpkins or tentacles, it was fish. We had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can make several. Remember, every time you make one, you should be getting better at it and decorating it differently and adding different kinds of paper. There's no one way to do it. This is just the method that I use. Now it's your turn. Go make some art.